Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of the CERIAS 26th Annual Cybersecurity Symposium. We survived first day. Thank you to all of those who both participated and to the judges who helped take a look at the student posters last night. While I have no right to be, every year I walk around like a proud father looking at the unbelievable great stuff that the students are producing there. We have a couple key things to talk about. First, I don't know if any of you caught the weather this morning, but we're supposed to have quite a doozy coming through about 11 o'clock this morning. So it doesn't look like it's very wide, but it looks like it's going to be pretty intense for at least a half hour or so. If there were to be a weather event, there are facilities in this basement, and we'll all orderly go down there, as mentioned yesterday. Unless you need, you probably should try to avoid the elevator in those cases, just in case we lose power. And by note, about 7 years ago, we actually did end up spending about 40 minutes in the basement when there was a tornado warning. Side note to that, a couple of students skipped and completely demolished everything that was on the refreshments table while everybody was in the basement. So those of you who may be joining us for the first day, directly across the hall is the coffee, tea, and water. Help yourself at any time. We'll keep that restocked through the day. Both down this side hallway and down this hallway are men's and women's restrooms, both sides. And then was asked this morning about continuing education credits. Yes, this does qualify. We have a form on our website. We may have some of those forms here later today, but you can go to our website and download it. And so it will be available for those who are making sure that you have all your credits for accreditations and other continuing education requirements. So one of the things that people asked yesterday is that this is great, this is wonderful, amazing some of the stuff you're doing, really enjoyed meeting the students, lots of accolades, love that. Thank you very much for sharing those positive comments. Please also feel free to give us critique and, hey, this could have been done better. Hey, how come you didn't highlight this? So 26 years, we hope that we're doing a better job than we were 26 years ago, but we're hoping next year we'll be doing better than we are this year. So your honest feedback is always important to us. But one of the other things that was asked is that you guys never really talked much about the Institute. You allow your faculty and the students that are affiliated with the Institute highlight their research, panels, all these other things that we do, but don't we really talk about the Institute? So since I had the opportunity to do the welcome this morning, I pivoted and thought I would do a very short version of just kind of a little bit of who we are. So this slide isn't about, or a version of this slide is in almost every slide deck that I do, and this is kind of the elevator who we are. It sounds rote whenever I do it because I have stated this so many times. So CERIAS is the world's oldest, largest, and top-ranked interdisciplinary academic research institute for cyber and cyber-physical systems. Our focal areas include security, privacy, resiliency, autonomous systems, trusted electronics, and trustworthy AI. We're an umbrella organization that brings together approximately 150 faculty who are conducting and or doing research within this very broadly defined area of cybersecurity. Those 150 plus faculty come from 20 different academic departments across 8 different colleges. No surprise, our highest constituencies of both faculty and students are in 3 departments: computer science, computer engineering, and by the way, at Purdue, those are completely separate colleges. Computer science is an outgrowth of the mathematics and science department, the world's oldest CS department, and still resides in that college. Computer engineering, no surprise, is in Purdue's School of Engineering. So computer science, computer engineering, and then Purdue has a very noted applied technology school, the Purdue Polytechnic. So those 3 departments alone are working in, and it's not defined by department, but theory, discovery, research and development, and application. So Purdue is one of the few universities can actually work on full spectrum of cybersecurity and cyber physical systems development. But in addition to those 3 departments that I mentioned, as I mentioned, there's 20 different departments. Nearly every one of the engineering departments have people who are working in this area. No surprise, because you're all cybersecurity experts. You understand that nearly every single domain now has a cyber component or has a cyber concern, at least in the production of a physical asset. So mechanical engineering, nuclear engineering, aero engineering, all of these have cybersecurity concerns, components, research that's being done in this area. It extends to most of the STEM disciplines. So unbelievable great work being done in statistics and mathematics, especially in the area of AI and analytics, and then nearly all of the other STEM disciplines as well. But not completely unique to Purdue, but still unique to most universities, is that we also have a number of faculty who are in the human and behavioral sciences who are conducting and or teaching conducting research and teaching in this area. That has been true for 20 plus years. Early, we were talking about what are the best methods to teach cybersecurity? How do we identify insider threat? What are some of the best social engineering techniques that we've seen? How do we identify those techniques? It's gone on to how do we take a look at the tech space, whether in social media or in emails, to identify phishing attempts. So the human behavioral sciences have long contributed to cybersecurity, but it has really grown over the last 5, 6 plus years as the explosion of AI and as certainly in the intersection of AI and cybersecurity, which we will have a panel on today, emerges. So a number of work actually in our liberal arts department that's working on large language models, working on the ethics, fairness of AI. So unbelievable work. I've been drinking the Kool-Aid at Purdue for 23 years. Yesterday was my 23rd year at the university. So I've had this for a long time, and I'm super proud of my employer and very, very proud of our institute. So beyond that, now if we go over to the student side. So there are 1,100 students. I mentioned this yesterday. I was corrected in the cybersecurity major in the Purdue Polytechnic. There's over 1,000 students in this computer science security track. Those that are working on secure embedded systems in ECE, the electrical computer engineering, as well as all these other. There is over 5,000 students at Purdue who are studying in a cybersecurity discipline. This is a statement that is hard to fact check, but we believe that's probably the largest of any university in the United States, but if not, it's certainly in the top 5. It's one of the reasons why I believe that we are so highly rated. I mean, yes, I think our faculty and our students are doing unbelievable great research, and yes, I do think the education is preeminent, but there's so much more of it going on at Purdue than most other universities that the spotlight does get put on us quite often. So with that, I took a version of our single slide, and I was going to show that this morning, and I realized sitting in the back that my single slide would look like dots up there. So I took just one point off of that and just some of the key highlights that we normally talk about. So when it comes to cybersecurity research, Purdue University is ranked #1 in the United States. And again, many of you have heard me say this. It's not because we have a monopoly on good research. It's just we have so many more faculty who are conducting research in this broadly defined area that it's been very easy for us to keep this ranking for, I think, 8, 9 plus years now. We are ranked #6 in cybersecurity education, and I actually think this is wrong. I think we are higher, but the ranking systems take your one major, and then they take a look at that. So it overlooks that in 20 different academic departments we're teaching. It takes a look at one of those departments. So one of those departments is already ranked 6th in the nation. So in 1998, 99, the NSA and later DHS put out the Centers of Academic Excellence. It's actually an outgrowth of in part a talk that SPAF did on the Hill on the need for growing cybersecurity at the educational level as the need was growing in industry. So in response to that and others' input, they developed the Centers of Academic Excellence. And Purdue was one of the original 7 that was listed as universities of excellence in cyber defense. Since then, the number of universities have exploded on that list. SPAF actually wrote about 10 years a scathing blog post that if you looked at the list, it was no longer a list of universities who were excellent in cybersecurity. It was a list of universities who were adequate in providing cybersecurity education. And that was okay, but recognize the list for what it is. In partial response to that, they put out a second tier called the Centers of Excellence in Cybersecurity Research. We were also one of the very first to be named in that and have maintained that, that designation each year. So from the university level, while we have long embraced this, our president, Mung Chiang, has long talked about Purdue University has a commitment to national security and defense. When we see other universities, other wonderful universities shy away from works who are part, forgive the air quotes, the industrial complex, that shies away from that does not want to partake in that, or students protest when a certain company comes to campus to recruit or to do research. That's not the culture at Purdue. Purdue has leaned into the idea of conducting research and educating students to work in national defense and security, and we're quite proud of that. And the last, and I mentioned this, I guess, already, the breadth and depth of expertise with 150 faculty plus 5,000 plus students working in this area. There's a lot going on. And then to repeat myself earlier is that, yes, we have people that you may want to think about in the ivory tower that are working in theory and discovery. That's needed for foundational research. But then the research and development area is quite active here, as is the application of developed technologies and taking existing technologies and finding new application. So I hope that answers a few of the questions that you said. Can you just give us a few bullet points on who exactly CERIAS is and what you do and how we do it? Now, we are not an academic department. Side note, the oldest accredited cybersecurity degree in the world is Purdue's interdisciplinary cybersecurity degree. And that's a program that was developed here. And since there was no place to manage it, Purdue CERIAS actually manages that degree, but we're not a degree granting. It's part of the School of Interdisciplinary Research or Interdisciplinary Education. But losing my track already. But with that, there are all these students in education that are going on that enables us to be able to partner with industry. Thank you. And so as we are a standalone research institute, so we function as a pseudo consortium. You'll see both in the coffee room as well as up here, the thank you slide. These are the organizations that are part of our strategic partnership program. So there's a sort of a membership fee, and then they leverage the benefits. There's 160 plus current cybersecurity research projects that are going on. So we have a hot list for each of our partners. So we know that in academia, most of the research we do is going to be put in a paper, it's going to be presented at a journal, or it's going to be presented at a conference, and the whole world is going to hear about the great things. But our program enables us to take early stage research and direct push to our strategic partners. So if one of those organizations said, hey, I'm really, really interested in I'm just making this up, the application of blockchain to X. Well, if we have projects in there, we actively track that and push that information to the partner. So they don't have to wait till next year or 2 years when the publication comes out or the paper is presented at a conference. They learn about it early so they can take action on it ahead of time. There are a number of benefits that they go from that. Sean, who's two job is to organize this thing. Her number one job is to make sure that all of our strategic partners are daily garnering value from their relationship with Purdue. So if you're with an organization that is interested in partnership with CERIAS, we would be happy to have that conversation with you. With that, I think we move to the next point, which is always fun for us. Spaff, you want to come up and help do some of the awards?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. There we go. Hopefully everyone had a good evening. For those of you who weren't in a good soundproof location, it probably was a little eventful with all the thunderstorms moving through. As Joel mentioned, we will have some more later. I do have the clicker. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Good. So we're organized here, or at least it seems that way. Every year we have some awards to give out and announce, and I have the pleasure of doing that. I've been involved in doing this now for, as Joel said, 26 years, and it is always gratifying to do this. I want to make mention again, for those of you who weren't here yesterday morning, that our director, Diane Zhu, is the recipient of this year's Arden Elbament Junior Award by Purdue University, which is that's the university's premier award for research accomplishment in science and engineering. And so we're very proud that he has received that based on a lot of hard work. All right. So as far as awards go, a little early. Let me start here. We thank, first of all, thank you to all of our partners and visitors, others who served as judges for the poster competition. For the students who are here, let me say, I apologize I didn't get to every poster. Several of you were interested in having me visit and got sidetracked with all the visitors and other administrative things going on. But our students' research highlighted on these posters, we go through, we judge, and we have some awards to give out. So in third place, learning adversarial attacks on adaptive traffic signal control systems under cooperative perception. If any of the students are here, you can stand and we'll take a bow. No? All right. We will be providing the students with certificates, and there are cash awards for the winners of the poster competition. So we'll be providing those in the coming days. That was third place. Second place, unlearning machine learning bias using task vector arithmetic. Do we have any of those students here? No. Okay. It's before noon, I understand. And first place, software signing, practical adoption challenges, and tooling usability. Is Kalichi here? Okay, well, we are 3 for 3. But our congratulations to all of those students and to the faculty who have been helping to guide them, supervise the research. So let's have a round of applause. For the students who are here, we'll do this again next year. And so think about that, and when the call comes out, be prepared to put together a poster. Another award that we give out every year is, we call it the Pillar of CERIAS. And this is a recognition that CERIAS is held up by all of those faculty and departments and our affiliates, our friends. It is an organization that really rests on the work and accomplishments of many, many people. And so each year we try to identify someone who has made major contributions, not simply in the last year, but over time to the success of what we are trying to do. And we recognize that. We want to recognize that so that others are aware. Sometimes these people labor in, I won't say silence, but their work isn't necessarily noticed. So as CERIAS as an organization has broadened its scope, expanding traditional cybersecurity to look at broader issues in, for instance, cyber physical systems. We have depended upon the assistance and expertise of individuals in that area to help us expand the mission, do good research, and engage with the community. Bridging that gap is a really important aspect of what we have been doing. Our Pillar Award winner is Professor Ananth Grama. He is one of our most engaged faculty experts in this area. He is the Samuel Conti Distinguished Professor of Computer Science and the recently named head of our Physical AI Institute on campus. He's been a leader and a participant for several years as we have expanded our view and description of what we do to cyber plus X, where X is the variable to be filled in later. But as we've done more to project where cybersecurity is applied in the world, where it's needed, in things like manufacturing, supply chain, autonomous vehicles, Internet of Things. And he's brought an interdisciplinary, very rigorous academic perspective to the research that we very much appreciate. I didn't see, is Professor Grama in the room? Oh, well, come on up. Yeah. That's sort of hiding there in the group. So we are exceedingly pleased to present you with. Thank you. We can. If you haven't had the opportunity to interact with Professor Grama, please do so during the breaks, networking. He's working on fascinating things, and particularly if you're interested in AI as it applies to the world, the cyber physical things, as the new director of that institute, I'm sure he would be interested in talking to you and possibly making some connections.